It's no secret that the world is in turmoil right now, and some of the events happening are simply beyond our comprehension. For example, there are millions of people who are hoping that the next couple of years will bring peace to the world. But it looks like nature itself has other plans. As if earthquakes, pandemics, and wars weren't enough, it appears we may have to deal with something even more destructive, a supervolcano. Yes, you heard that right. Scientists have recently made a shocking discovery about the famous Yellowstone Supervolcano. They found out that it could erupt at any moment. More specifically, they think the eruption could occur in 2025. So this raises the question, what would happen if Yellowstone erupted? What destruction would it cause, and how would life on Earth change? We'll answer all these questions today. But before we move on, we kindly ask you to support our work with a thumbs up so you don't miss such interesting videos. Also, stick around until the end to find out why scientists have been closely monitoring this volcano. You won't regret it. Yellowstone National Park covers an area of over 2,200 square miles. It is home to around 11 giant geysers, nearly 10,000 hydrothermal features, and more than half of the world's active geysers. One of its main attractions is the Grand Prismatic Spring, renowned for its vivid colors and size. However, despite the park's scenic beauty, it also poses potential threats due to its proximity to the Yellowstone Caldera, also known as the Yellowstone Supervolcano. The Yellowstone Supervolcano is located beneath Yellowstone National Park in the northwest corner of Wyoming. This colossal volcano stretches across 3 states, Idaho, Montana, and Wyoming. With its immense size, it is considered one of the largest active volcanoes on Earth. According to scientists, the magma chamber beneath the Yellowstone caldera extends 62 miles below the surface. The magma chamber is like a giant reservoir filled with molten rock or magma. Due to its immense size, it has the potential to cause massive devastation when it erupts. The United States Geological Survey (USGS) carefully monitors any changes in the volcano's behavior, as it is capable of catastrophic eruptions. So far, the Yellowstone Supervolcano has experienced 3 major eruptions during different periods in history. The first notable eruption occurred about 2 million years ago, which scientists believe was the most violent event in the history of the Earth. The second significant eruption took place about 1.3 million years ago. Both of these eruptions were so powerful that they left massive craters behind, forming what is now known as the Yellowstone caldera. However, the third and most recent eruption occurred approximately 640,000 years ago, and it was much less intense compared to the previous ones. These eruptions have shaped the landscape of the region and continue to influence the geothermal activity observed in Yellowstone National Park today. In fact, the largest eruption in the history of the Earth was the one that happened 2 million years ago at the Yellowstone Supervolcano. This eruption released an incredible amount of volcanic ash, estimated to be around 2,500 cubic kilometers. To put that into perspective, the ash cloud reached an astonishing height of 45 kilometers into the atmosphere. It completely blocked the sunlight and plunged the entire planet into darkness for months. Can you imagine spending months without seeing the sun? The force of this explosion was truly mind-boggling. It generated an earthquake with a magnitude of 7 on the Richter scale, causing tremors that were felt worldwide. The power of this event is difficult to overstate. In a single instant, it unleashed an energy equivalent to 1 billion trillion joules. That's a number with 18 zeros. It's hard to wrap your mind around such immensity. But wait, there's more. The impact of this eruption extended far beyond the immediate vicinity. Hot ash and lava ejected from the volcano traveled thousands of kilometers, reaching areas that are now part of Nevada, Utah, New Mexico, and Arizona. The debris from this eruption can still be found in places like the Snake River Plain, where it formed a layer over 1 kilometer wide and 1 meter thick. It's amazing to think about the vast area covered by the remnants of this ancient event. Yellowstone National Park receives millions of visitors each year. People come from all over the world to marvel at its natural wonders. But what if a massive eruption occurs when they're there? What would happen to all those people? If you're worried, don't be. Experts say that a super eruption at Yellowstone is unlikely to occur anytime soon. However, if it does happen, the consequences could be devastating. According to the USGS, the effects of such an eruption would extend far beyond the borders of Yellowstone National Park. Pyroclastic flows and earthquakes would pose the most immediate danger to humans in the surrounding areas. Pyroclastic flows are fast-moving currents of hot gas and solid matter that rush down the slopes of a volcano during an eruption. They can reach incredible speeds of up to 100 miles per hour, which is roughly 161 kilometers per hour. Earthquakes, on the other hand, can shake the ground violently, causing buildings to collapse and infrastructure to crumble. Ashfall would be another significant concern. As the ash cloud billows high into the atmosphere, it would spread far and wide, blanketing vast areas in a thick layer of fine particles. This ash could bury entire cities and towns, making them unrecognizable. It would also contaminate water sources and disrupt air travel. In addition to these direct effects, the eruption would likely trigger secondary hazards such as lahars, which are volcanic mudflows that can travel down river valleys. Lahars can be triggered by the melting of volcanic ice, heavy rainfall, or even earthquakes associated with the eruption. They can cause widespread damage to infrastructure and pose risks to human settlements along their path. The eruption of the Yellowstone Supervolcano would send ash and gases into the atmosphere, blocking sunlight and cooling the planet. But it would also cause severe weather events like heavy rain, snow, and strong winds, which could further damage infrastructure and disrupt essential services. Communication networks could be disrupted, making it challenging for people to stay informed and seek help. Roads could become impassable, isolating communities and hindering rescue and relief operations. Essential services, such as healthcare, water supply, and electricity could be cut off, leaving people without access to basic necessities and medical care. All in all, the eruption of the Yellowstone Supervolcano would pose a grave threat to human civilization as we know it. The devastation caused by pyroclastic flows, earthquakes, ashfall, and lahars could level entire cities and bury them under thick layers of debris. The global climatic consequences of the eruption would trigger extreme weather events that would further exacerbate the destruction. The disruption of communication networks, road collapse, and the breakdown of essential services would add to the chaos and suffering. It's a terrifying thought, but it serves as a reminder of the immense power of nature and the challenges we may face in the future. Scientists are closely monitoring the Yellowstone Supervolcano because it is one of the most powerful forces of nature. Its behavior is unpredictable, and it has the potential to cause catastrophic damage. The USGS uses various tools and technologies to monitor seismic activity, gas emissions, and ground deformation in the region. By studying these indicators, scientists can gain insights into the internal processes occurring beneath the volcano. If an eruption were to occur, the USGS would activate a communication system to inform local authorities and the public. Evacuation plans would be put in place to ensure the safety of people living in the vicinity of the volcano. Now here comes the big question. When exactly is the Yellowstone Supervolcano expected to erupt? There's good news and bad news. The bad news is that no one can say for sure when it will erupt again. Scientists can only make estimates based on historical data and current monitoring. The good news is that experts believe the next eruption won't be as powerful as the last one. According to them, there is a 99% chance that the supervolcano won't erupt within the next 300 years. A more precise forecast suggests that the likelihood of an eruption in the next 10,000 years is only 1%, so it seems that we are safe for now. However, some scientists disagree with these predictions. They believe that the supervolcano could erupt much earlier than expected. Michael P. Furman from the University of Auckland has studied the history of past eruptions and concluded that the intervals between them are becoming shorter. He says that the next eruption could occur within the next 200 years. There's also a theory that an earthquake could trigger the eruption, and according to some reports, there have already been signs of this happening. Recently, a swarm of earthquakes shook the region around the Yellowstone Supervolcano. While such swarms are not unusual in the area, this particular swarm lasted longer than usual, causing concern among scientists. Could this be an indication that the supervolcano is preparing for an eruption? Only time will tell. If the Yellowstone Supervolcano did erupt tomorrow, it would be a devastating event with far-reaching consequences. The immediate vicinity would be buried in ash and pumice, triggering landslides, mud flows, and damaging buildings. Pyroclastic flows would race down the volcano's slopes, incinerating everything in their path. Ash clouds would spread across the country, disrupting air travel and affecting air quality. Worldwide temperatures would plummet due to the release of sulfur dioxide gas, leading to crop failures and food shortages. Economic impacts would be severe, with the agricultural industry taking a massive hit and financial markets plummeting. However, the eruption would also be a spectacle of immense proportions, a stark reminder of the raw power of nature. Witnessing such an event would be both awe-inspiring and humbling, reminding us of the fragility of human civilization in the face of geological wonders. We hope you enjoyed learning more about the Yellowstone Supervolcano. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and stay updated on our latest videos. Thanks for watching. They can identify any changes or anomalies that may indicate an increased risk of eruption.